Hi guys, I'm Victoria. I run Tree Living Yoga. So we've got loads of yoga classes in Saltburn and Yarm. And if you're watching this, you're thinking about coming to a yoga class, maybe never been before, unsure of what to expect. So I've just made this short video just to hopefully answer some of your questions. So the classes really vary in price, which is one of the main questions, depending on which studio you come to. So that would be quite different for everybody. But most classes are an hour long with me. I have one 90-minute class, but most are an hour. And what to wear, I think that you should be comfortable. But for most of you, think about going upside down. So if you were to fold forwards and your t-shirt's going to come up, just make sure you can tuck something in so you're going to feel nice and comfortable, so you're not worried about getting your belly out or anything like that. So that's quite an important thing. Most of my classes at the leisure centre have got 20 to 25 people in it, so you have to weigh up coming to a really busy class but for quite a discounted price. So it's about £5 if you come to there, or alternatively you could go to a different class in a studio in Yarm where there's only going to be a maximum of 12 people, and you're looking at £8 a class there if you book a block. We also vary in like loads of different abilities, so you can come to a beginner's class, men's only class, or an advanced vinyasa class. So there are loads of different levels. Lots of the hatha yoga classes have got different levels of people attending within them, and I try to spend a little bit of time with you in the beginning and give you lots of different alternatives. So, for example, towards the end, not everybody wants to do a shoulder stand or a headstand, and there's always the option to just stay on your back and have your legs elevated. So there's generally something to make you work a little bit harder, and something if you feel you've had enough that day and you want to pull back a little bit, and a way to come back and relax. So I will always give you those alternatives. And if you have any particular problems, like a bad back, a bad knee, or something like that, we can go through different adaptations for you as well. So anything is possible, really, and it's good to have a try at lots of different yoga classes and see which one suits you. If you want to a hatha class, for example, the hatha yoga is generally poses and holding the pose for a little bit longer. Generally in my classes I do holds for 5 breaths. Sometimes towards the end we're going to 8 to 10 breaths, but generally 5. And in a hatha class there's less linked movement, so it's generally a sun salutation, which is a series of movements together, and then some standing poses, and then we'll come down onto the floor and do some twists, some poses on your back, and finish lying down with your legs elevated. That's the general rule of that. As you start to look into something like a vinyasa class or a hatha flow, we tend to almost choreograph the movement, so you're moving a little bit more and linking one pose to another through what's called a vinyasa, which is a series of movements. So you'll be moving and then stop, hold, moving and stop and hold. With some of the hatha classes we do tend to just hold and then go to another pose and hold. So if you were a sports person and you have particularly tight hamstrings and you really wanted to stretch them out and stay in positions for a bit longer, something like a hatha class or even an ashtanga class, which would have a lot of holding in it, and the ashtanga class would be for a more physically fit person. That would be the right thing for you to go to. If you had not done very much exercise recently and you're quite new to going to the gym or exercising, then it would be the best place for you to start with a hatha class, and just ease yourself in gently. And if you find that feels good, you can move on up, try a vinyasa class, try something a bit more challenging like ashtanga, and see how you go. So there really is a class to suit everybody, whether you're a beginner or you're really experienced. there's something for you. And also, if you have any injuries, still come. The most important thing is that you can get down onto your belly and get up. If you have a problem getting onto the floor and onto your belly and then coming back up, then we would be better off finding you a slightly more gentle class or going for a one-to-one until we could increase your mobility a little bit. But hopefully that's answered some of your questions. And anything else that you can think of, if you wanted to ask before you came to a class, just drop me an email or give me a call. And hopefully I'll meet you soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.